Tell us something about your dad.
There are people here who knew of my father. I guess he taught me, you would have to know my dad, and I'll one at a time talk to you all later after the show. He taught me when you're going to drink an incredible amount of alcohol, never wear your best shoes. I'll explain that later to those of few of you who haven't experienced that. He shot Santa Claus when I was 3 years old.
Whoa. He shot Santa Claus?
Yeah, that was when he was not wearing his best shoes. When I was 3 years old on Christmas Eve, he got a wild notion and grabbed his shotgun. We lived in Montana and went out on the porch and blasted away and came back in and said, "There, the bastard's dead." I swear to you, it's true. So my mother worked overtime that night making things right. But what I will say is similar to everything that he did, I look back on it now, and I swear to you, I'm not on a water tower with a high-powered rifle. I think I turned out okay. And I've learned things from him that I use to this day in his social ability to relate to people. These things were things that are just myths and things in our family that actually happened, but his social skills as a bartender and the youngest of 13 children was something that I carry with me to this day, and I still cry on Christmas.
Dick, I cheated a little bit, Dick, and read a story about your dad, because if you don't know, Dick has founded a pet food company, and it's a very special company, and he's a pet lover. And but I read this story that your dad used to take you to pet stores a lot on the weekends when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, my father was highly intelligent, not educated, but so smart. And every Saturday, I wanted to have a pet shop when I was a kid, but he would take me every Saturday. I would buy a different pet. And I bought a little alligator once. This is true. And I bought a little alligator for $1 once, a baby alligator. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. Finally, we kept it in the bathtub. Then finally, nobody could take a bath. And so finally, my grandmother said, "Get rid of that alligator." So I took it to the Central Park Zoo. And it's probably still there because alligators live alone.
Bryan, tell us about your dad.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. You know...
I knew that was
it's... My dad was a shoe salesman. He sold zip-up Beetle boots to actors, and that's how he made his living. No, actually very comfortable, but mine is pretty similar to John's. My dad was an actor as well, and he was in everything. He died. I watched him die in everything. He was an army guy or a cavalry man or something like that. But my parents also divorced, and I didn't see my dad for like 10 years during formative years. And then years later, we got back in touch, and now we formed a new relationship, and it's really a great one. And it's interesting how you go through life and you don't know what your plight is going to be and what cards you're going to be dealt, but it turned out the way it's supposed to turn out, I think. You know?
Yeah. Dick, your dad, nicknamed Cookie.
Yes, how did you know that?
Salesman. I did my homework. Salesman for the Sunshine Biscuit Company.
Salesman.
Wow. Tell me about him.
Well, my relationship with my dad was a little different. He was a traveling salesman, of course. He was only home on weekends. And so my association was with my mother, emotionally, because my dad was rather distant. But I grew up during the Depression, and when times were really tough, and we were constantly in debt and worried about money. Well, I was born, the stock market crashed in, 29? I was 4 years old, and I lost everything. But as a matter of fact, if my parents were alive, I'd move back in with them. I think I've gotten so bad. My dad, what his saving grace was that he had a great sense of humor about his condition in life and about himself. And I can remember laughing until I had tears in my eyes. And my mother, the same way. They both could laugh so
And
hard
they were
about
naturally
their poverty.
Yeah.
And my brother Jerry and I have often talked about it. We didn't know we were poor. We had wonderful childhood.
That's great.
I think better than they have today because we weren't micromanaged. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Our summer vacation was ours to do what we wanted to.
Sure.
It was great.